Hi, my name is Margaret Gigandet, or Mrs. G. I'm one of the college advisors at SMMHS, and I'm going to go over some different parts of the college application process. Use a tool called Naviance in the class link of each student's class link page to send documents to colleges, and that's one part of that college application piece. We have already gone over Naviance with the juniors in their junior workshop, so they should be somewhat familiar with Naviance. Just know that Common App and Naviance are, we will link them in the fall with this. Some colleges require that you apply directly to their institution through their website. Some of the colleges that require applications online are Chattanooga State. They're not part of Common App. Tennessee Tech is not part of Common App. And there are some others like that that are not part of Common App. So one thing that we like for students to do is to talk to us about whether it makes sense for them to use Common App or whether it makes sense to apply directly to the college. Usually we say it makes more sense to use the Common App if they are going to apply to 3 or more colleges that are on Common App. If a student is just going to apply to UTC and UTK, both of those schools have their own applications, and it would make sense just to do those two. So it kind of depends on the colleges that they are applying to, whether the student uses Common App or not. Students can go ahead and create a Common App account if they want to, but they don't have to. They can go ahead and create one now. They're able to see what the essays are for the 25-26 school year to create their Common App account. One way to look at Naviance is that it is it supports the documents that need to be sent to a college. And that's one way that students will check whether their college applications are complete is by creating an account on each college's website. They will create an account, for example, UTC, and they'll have a UTC portal on that website. They can log in and see what documents they might be missing in order to complete their application. The best way to check that portal is through their email account that they create specifically for college applications. UTK also has their own portal that students can go online and check what parts of their application are missing or what. Be sure to let Dr. Dagnan know in the school counseling office if you need a Common App school report or a counselor evaluation. She usually takes care of those two parts of the Common App application. There will be lots of opportunities for students to apply free to colleges. If students apply to 10 or more schools, oftentimes it can cost $50 or even $75 to apply to one college. So it makes sense to wait until colleges offer the free application weeks or free application months in order to save money. If your student is on free or reduced lunch, please reach out to us and we can provide free application waivers. But if not, usually the state of Tennessee has a push in September for college applications month, and they waive a bunch of the fees. October is free application week in Alabama, and Georgia does a free application month in November. Regardless of how you apply, I just want to stress that Naviance is the way that all students will request their transcript. And the transcript, it's easy to do. We will show the students how to do it, but you will often hear us ask students or we'll want you to tell your students to come into the fishbowl to ask us to show them how to send their transcript to colleges. There is one piece of the application to University of Tennessee, Knoxville called the SRAR, which stands for Self-Reported Academic Record. This part of the process can be very complicated for students that they don't really make it easy. And we will have a STOR help day in the fall to help students who are applying to UTK. There are some other colleges that use the STOR. Clemson uses it. University of South Carolina uses it. So basically, it's a way to report your grades and the classes that you have taken to the colleges, and we are happy to help students with that process. One part of the application process to college is unfortunately tests. Some people love taking tests, but some people hate it. The ACT or the SAT is required at some colleges in order to complete your application to college. There are colleges out there that are test optional. So if you're not a very good test taker, I would suggest searching for colleges that are test optional. More and more colleges after COVID went test optional, and we're seeing that some colleges are going back to requiring the ACT or SAT. The ACT has gone mostly digital, and they are changing the way that the science portion of the test is required. Many colleges are not going to require the science portion of the ACT, but we are waiting on guidance from the colleges to get official word on that, and we will know more in early fall or in August whether some may require it or whether some may not require it. Students can register for the ACT online at act.org, or they can register for the SAT at collegeboard.com. There are a lot of colleges have a minimum ACT score. For example, the UTC does have a minimum ACT score, and often you can just go to the college's website and find out what the minimum ACT score is for that school. And you can also go to their website to find out what the scholarship offers that they have for certain ACT scores. Students can register for the SAT at the College Board, which is collegeboard.com. And oftentimes I tell students, if you don't know whether you're better at the ACT or the SAT, to take both and then focus on the test that you did better at. And you can also try to focus and learn which parts of the ACT that you weren't that great at, and you can try to focus and improve your score that way. There also are workshops out there and online study guides that can help you improve your score if you are trying to reach if you have a goal in mind. There also will be one more time for students to take the ACT for free. It will probably be in October during the school day at Signal Mountain High School, and we'll know more about that date in the fall, and we'll certainly let students know about that opportunity. This slide of the presentation has some suggestions and examples of test prep for the ACT or SAT. And there are lots of online websites that are available. College visits are an important part of the application process. We think visiting college is the best way to know whether the college is a good fit for you, and spending time on campus is a great way to know whether you see yourself or a student sees themselves at that particular college. Many colleges will offer open houses in the fall for students. If a student can't make it to one of the open houses or doesn't want to miss school, they also offer virtual tours. They can be found at campustours.com or appily.com, appily.com. We will take a field trip to UTC on September the 8th. And on that day, we will get students to apply to UTC. They will have a direct admit the day that we go because we take transcripts with us. It's a great opportunity to see campus. They'll get a t-shirt, Chick-fil-A biscuit, and that is a great thing to have in their back pocket because they will already have one college acceptance in September. That's a good backup for students. Finding a college that families can afford is an important part of the college search process. We would encourage families to be open with your students and have open and honest conversations about the financial aspect of the student's college search. The Hope Scholarship does provide money for students. It's about $5,000 per year for students who meet the requirements for the Hope Scholarship. It requires a 3.0 or a 21 on the ACT. The FAFSA is the way that you apply to get the Hope Scholarship, and it's also how you apply for many colleges for scholarships at the college. The FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It's free to apply. It should open this year in October. You do have to reapply every year that you are in college. Students will apply for the 25-26 school year, and it requires parents' tax information from 2024. We will send out more information about that, and we usually have help days when that becomes available. The Tennessee Promise is 2 years of free community college. We will encourage all students to apply for the Tennessee Promise just in case, and you can go to Chat State for 2 years for free and then transfer really to any college. The deadline for that is November the 1st, and if you hear us talking about Tennessee Promise, that is different than the Tennessee Hope. Tennessee Promise is the 2 free years at community college. There are a host of different scholarships available to students. I keep a Google sheet of local scholarships that are available. Also, the best way to check out scholarships, one of the best ways is to apply on the college's website. Many times, for example, sometimes they have a separate college application scholarship, or sometimes colleges, you just apply and your admissions application is also your application for the scholarships. It's important to check your email to make sure that if they do offer you scholarships, sometimes there's a deadline for you to accept that scholarship offer. Remember to never pay for any scholarship search. All scholarship applications and services should always be free. One reminder is that most of the aid that students at Signal Mountain High School receive is usually from the institution, from the college that they apply to. There are some community scholarships that we have, and they usually are in the spring, and we will relay that information to students through email, through their managed back messages, and through the Remind group. An important part of the scholarship application and the FAFSA application is to make sure that you pay attention to the deadlines. The CSS profile is one more component that some of the colleges require for their financial aid application. Usually it's more private, smaller, selective colleges. If the college that you are applying to requires the CSS profile, it's important to pay attention to their deadline. The deadlines for the CSS profile vary quite a bit throughout the different colleges. Student Aid Index, if you've had students who've already gone to college, they used to call it the EFC. The Student Aid Index is the number that you will get back after you have completed the FAFSA, and it helps determine your eligibility for the federal student aid. There's also a handy thing called the net price calculator. It shows you how much a college can cost. You can Google that, and it's on College Board's website. And we also encourage you to meet with financial aid representatives when you are visiting colleges and talk to them